Have you ever felt that your entire life could change in just a matter of days? That someone you truly love could become almost a stranger in front of your eyes? Well, what I'm about to tell you is exactly like that. A story that began as a dream of a future together, with plans, promises, and that feeling that nothing could ever separate us. I was about to marry the woman I loved, and I thought everything was perfect. But as life loves to surprise us, I discovered that not everything was as it seemed. Get ready, because what comes next is intense, shocking, and will grip you until the very last second. My name is Leonard. I was 24 at the time, and I was engaged to Rachel. She was 23, full of life, energy, and dreams. We had been together for almost 5 years, and I believed I knew every little piece of what we called us. We were planning the wedding carefully, talking about our life, our apartment, the dog we wanted to adopt. I really believed nothing could separate us. Rachel decided to enroll in physical education at college, something I always encouraged because I wanted her to have her own independence, friends, and experiences. But it was precisely in that place that things began to crumble before my eyes. At first, I didn't notice anything. She would come home excited, talking about the professors, subjects, group projects, and I felt proud of her. I knew she was growing, becoming even more amazing than she already was. But a few weeks later, I started hearing discreet comments, small rumors that reached me indirectly. Her friends at college, some of whom were also mutual friends of ours, tried to warn me, but always cautiously, almost as if asking me not to fully believe it. They said things like, "I saw her going out with so-and-so from the class," or, "She always flirts with the guys at college." But as any passionate fiancé, I thought it was just gossip, exaggeration, or misunderstandings. To me, Rachel continued to be the sweet, caring, and devoted woman I knew. But I began noticing subtle changes. She took longer to reply to my messages, seemed thoughtful sometimes, and occasionally, I felt that silent distance that you sense when something is wrong, but you can't identify. A part of me wanted to believe, wanted to deceive myself, convincing myself that everything was fine, because the image I had of her was too perfect to accept any other reality. And then came the day I'll never forget. We were talking about the wedding, the details of the ceremony, and Rachel, with a strange smile, said something that froze my heart. "Leonard, I think I need a break. I need to live a little, experience new things." At that moment, I didn't fully understand. I tried to ask questions, tried to argue, but she remained calm, smiling almost to hide something I didn't yet know. It was as if suddenly, the whole world I had built was collapsing. The following weeks were a silent hell. I saw her friends acting strangely, exchanging looks and comments I couldn't decipher. Some tried to speak to me, begging me to be cautious, but I refused to believe. I wanted to believe Rachel still loved me, that everything was just a moment of confusion, a passing phase. But the truth was far more cruel. Rachel began going out with her college friends. Sometimes I would catch her looking at messages on her phone with a different sparkle in her eyes. She seemed happy, alive, but not with me. One night, while I waited for her at home, I heard laughter from the hallway near her college building, and something inside me broke. I wanted to confront her, but there was still a part of me that hesitated, that wanted to give one last chance, that tried to justify everything. The final moment happened almost cinematically. Rachel called me to talk. I was confused, heart racing, thoughts spinning uncontrollably. And then she said, with that calmness that seemed cruel, "Leonard, I ended it. I want to enjoy being single, be with my friends. I can't be tied down anymore." I couldn't speak. Words wouldn't come out. I tried to plead, to ask why, but she simply looked at me, held my hands for a moment, and walked away. It was as if I had been physically struck, a void taking over every part of me. In the following days, I tried to understand. I asked her friends, tried to get explanations, but they only said she had changed, that college had changed her view of life. But eventually, I discovered what they hadn't told me. Rachel had been getting involved with the guys at college, experimenting, flirting, living the freedom she had always wanted, but which I never imagined would mean leaving me behind. And I confess, at that point, It became unbearable. I saw photos, messages, and stories indirectly reaching me. Every detail destroyed me, and the anger mixed with sadness and disbelief. How could someone who promised eternal love abandon me so easily? How could someone I had planned my whole life with simply decide to live another reality? And here, I need to take a pause and ask you watching this, if you're feeling the intensity of this story, don't forget to leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell. It's through your support that we can bring more real and intense stories like this, so keep watching. Because the most painful part is yet to come. Months passed, and Rachel began making excuses to justify her behavior. Marcelo tried to reconstruct his life, hoping for explanations, but Rachel had chosen her path. The final twist came when I saw her at a college party. She was smiling, but not for me. She was with one of the guys from her class, laughing, playing, living the life she had chosen, and I realized, with a knot in my throat, that she had truly detached from everything we had built together. The worst part, the freedom she sought didn't bring real happiness. She seemed empty, seeking approval, surrounded by friends but alone in her deepest feelings. In the end, the story left deep scars on me. I learned that sometimes you think you know someone, that you're building a secure future. But life has its own plans, and they aren't always fair. Rachel left, my trust was shattered, and that life of dreams together turned into painful memories. The lesson is harsh. Love isn't always enough, and sometimes one person's choice can destroy the happiness of many. If you made it this far, I want to thank you for following my narrative. If this story affected you, leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and comment what you would do if you were in my place. I really want to know your opinion. Until the next story, and remember, choose your battles, trust your heart, and care for those who truly matter.